The Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, we're talking Super Bowl because we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number one. Yes, Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins number one. This is Big Earl talking Miami Dolphins football. Not only Miami Dolphins football, we also will be talking about some Bahamian sports. We are going to feature two Bahamian athletes this evening before the show comes to an end. But what I want you to do, all my big fans out there, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let me know what's on your mind. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk Miami Dolphins football. Let's talk about the Marlins. Let's talk about the Heat. Let's talk about the Panthers. And let's talk Bahamian sports. You can put your chat for whatever you want to talk about inside the chat, and we'll address each one of those concerns as we go along in this short broadcast. But we are here tonight because we're going to talk about the Miami Dolphins and the Miami Dolphins schedule. The Miami Dolphins schedule. And the Miami Dolphins schedule, I do not know what's happening with the league or what's happening with the NFL, but it gives me the impression that the Miami Dolphins is not being treated fairly by the NFL. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I'm looking at their games home and I'm looking at their games away. And what is happening with the Miami, I believe that this is a big conspiracy. This is a big conspiracy by the NFL to stagnate or to slow the Miami Dolphins down. You know, Miami Dolphins has a very high-powered offense, and it's very difficult to stop the Miami Dolphins. Last year, it was difficult to stop them. The year before, it was difficult to stop them. But for some reason, they stumble at the end because of injuries and some other things happening to the Miami Dolphins. That's the reason why they couldn't get or was successful in the playoffs. But hopefully, this year, some things could change. And hopefully, the Miami Dolphins will be consistent. Hopefully, the injury bug does not hit them as hard as it hit them last season and the season before. If you recall, Tua had his injuries in 2022. And in 2023, he played an entire season with the Miami Dolphins, setting career records with yards for the whole year. He threw for over 4,600 yards last season. And the season before that, when he was hurt, he threw for over 3,000 yards. Some quarterbacks could only dream of throwing for 2,000 yards. So imagine 3,000 to 4,000 yards. And if I am correct, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins that threw for over 5,000 yards was Dan Marino, and then it was Dan Marino threw for, I think, over 4,600 yards. So Tua would be the next quarterback right in line after Dan Marino to throw for the most yards as a Miami Dolphins quarterback during an NFL season. With that said, let's get back to the schedule. The schedule, I'm looking at the Miami Dolphins schedule, and if you would look at the games that they have home, they have Jacksonville home on the 8th of September, Buffalo Bills on the 12th of September, the Tennessee Titans on the 30th of September. And then for some reason, after 3 games, you imagine giving a team a bye after 3 games. So during the 4th week of the NFL season, the Miami Dolphins has a bye. I am trying to figure out what is happening with the league when it comes to the Miami Dolphins. How could you give the Dolphins a bye after three games? Now they have a long schedule ahead of them. 3 games, 13 or about 14 games, 14, 56, 14 straight games after that. Now the Miami Dolphins, they are going to have to put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. And if they do not put up, they will be gone. And hopefully the Dolphins will stand up to the test, stand up to the challenge, and show the NFL that nothing is going to stop us from getting to our goal. And our goal is to get to the Super Bowl. And if you look at it, the Dolphins, they have a Super Bowl caliber team. A Super Bowl caliber team. If you look at the offense, the players on offense, they have superstars at the wide receiver position. They have superstars at the running back position. They have some very good cornerbacks. And the safeties, man, look at the Dolphins, they have a good team right now. But I'm saying the scheduling is horrible, absolutely horrible. And I believe the Dolphins should have protested this schedule. They should have protested this schedule because no way possible, man. Come on. After 3 games, you have a bye? I don't think any team in the league should have a bye after 3 games. They should start for at least 8 or 9 games. But remember, I know it's a scheduling situation. And I believe certain teams should be given certain preference according to your status in the league or how good you were last season. And if you were that good of a team last season, they shouldn't give you the early break or the early bye. That should go to other teams. But the thing is, the Dolphins need to come out and play football and win those games early. You win those 3 games early, hopefully we'll be saying a whole lot. But if you look at the top of the schedule, from looking at my page right now or looking on this video, on the broadcast, you will see that the Miami Dolphins have Jacksonville a 1 o'clock game. You know, the Miami Dolphins, they always have an advantage playing the 1 o'clock game. Because of the heat, many teams in the NFL cannot take the heat Miami. And the league is not giving Miami a fair shake when it comes to that. Now, the first game is really good. They have the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then they have the Buffalo Bills in the following week. But when you look at this schedule, I think this Buffalo game is a Thursday night game. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm looking at the schedule correctly, this Buffalo Bills game is a Thursday night game because this is only about 4 days later. 4 days. This is a Thursday night game, which is at 8:15 p.m. in the evening, and then they come right back. Now, come on now. You just finished playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, and 4 days later, you're playing the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills. Come on. Come on. This don't appear to be fair at all to me. And then on the 30th of September, they are playing the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, they're playing them on a Monday night. Come on. The Miami Dolphins, that's 3 games right there, which they are playing home. But if you look at the times that they are playing all of these games, of 2 of those games, 2 of the 3 games are night games. Miami Dolphins win the majority of games playing in the hot sunshine of South Florida. That's when other teams cannot take the heat, and the Miami Dolphins just would dominate no matter how good they are. They totally would destroy them. If you recall the Buffalo Bills game just about 2 years ago, the Miami Dolphins had them gasping for breath, gasping for air, and guys probably just throwing themselves up on the sidelines because they couldn't take the heat of South Florida. And what happened in that game? The Miami Dolphins won that game against the Buffalo Bills. That's a rival right in their division. A rival right in their division. But here it is now, the Buffalo Bills is playing on a Thursday evening. The Tennessee Titans, who the Miami Dolphins have been struggling with for the last couple of years, last 2 or 3 seasons, the Miami Dolphins has been struggling with the Tennessee Titans. So what did the NFL do? The NFL decided to let them play at 7:30 p.m. And that appears to be a Monday night game. 7:30 p.m. on the 30th of September. On the 30th of September. No hot sunshine, just cool weather in South Florida. And now every team, come on, the Dolphins, it just isn't right. The league is not treating the Dolphins right. And then we come to Arizona, then we have Las Vegas. Both of those games are on a Sunday at 1 p.m. The New England Patriots game is 1 p.m. Then the Jets game is 1 p.m. But here's my point. Why can the Dolphins play the Buffalo Bills and switch the Las Vegas Raiders or switch the New England Patriots with the Buffalo Bills game to make it much more of an advantage for the Miami Dolphins? And the reason why I think is it will only be fair to the Miami Dolphins because during the cold part of the season, they have to go to Buffalo, they have to go to New England, they have to go to New York, they play in other states that is really, really cold and it's snowing. So why can't we take advantage of all hot weather down here in Miami? And then when we go up there, it's a 50-50 thing because both opponents will be playing to their advantage. And those teams that love playing in the cold, Miami don't like playing in the cold too much because we play a whole 8 or 9 games in Miami in the hot sunshine. So something has to be done. A protest, I think, should be made by the Dolphins, and the Dolphins should make sufficient noise whereby next season the league does not treat the Miami Dolphins the way they're currently treating the Miami Dolphins. And I think that needs to be addressed, and that needs to be addressed rather urgently. Because right now, you look at the San Francisco 49ers on the 22nd of December. The 22nd of December, let me just take a look at that date, the 22nd of December. The 22nd of December is a Sunday. It's a Sunday game. And they're playing the Miami Dolphins. The weather changes, and here it is. We have, cool weather. It isn't cold in Miami and the Bahamas. The weather is relatively warm during December, but it's going to be a cool evening when they play the San Francisco 49ers. Why couldn't that game be a 1 o'clock game? Why couldn't that game? I believe it has to do something with probably the schedule, and has to do something with probably the game being on Fox. But come on, why couldn't that game be on a Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. or Sunday midday, 1 p.m.? Why 4 p.m. in the afternoon? All right? And what is the Dolphins doing about this? Is the Dolphins just going to let this happen? Just let this happen to them? But guess what? I believe the Dolphins should turn all that wrong, because I've heard other YouTubers, other sport fans, other sport journalists complain about the Miami Dolphins schedule, and they're saying some of the same things that I'm saying. But I believe what the Dolphins should do, turn that around. Turn this difficult schedule, this unfair schedule, this schedule that does not make any sense at all, turn it around and dominate their opponents. Once they dominate their opponents, then guess what? The schedule can be thrown out of the window. All right? Once the Dolphins could dominate their opponents, especially the games that they have at home, dominate games at home, if they could go perfect at home and they win at least 6 on the road, the Dolphins would be back in the playoffs doing some damage. Now, we can't just sit here and cry about it because the schedule is ready here. I've been hearing the complaints about the Miami Dolphins schedule over and over and over again. I said tonight that I will address this situation. Now I'm here addressing the situation with the Miami Dolphins schedule. And hopefully, next season, then hopefully the league will get the league, and the league would make some adjustments to the Miami Dolphins schedule, especially if the Miami Dolphins win the Super Bowl in 2025. And right now, the Miami Dolphins, they have a good opportunity, just like all other teams has an opportunity. But if you look at what the talent that the Miami Dolphins have right now, I think they can go very, very far. Not only in the playoffs, but going probably to the Super Bowl. And we have to stay focused and stick with the Dolphins. Be real fans and do what we have to do to cheer them on. And hopefully, when you see it's all said and done, the Miami Dolphins will be raising that Super Bowl trophy, saying they're champions. You know, we haven't won the Super Bowl since 1973 season. And we've been back with Dan Marino one time. And we didn't win against Joe Montana and the 49ers. I think that might have been 84, 85, or somewhere around 83, 84, somewhere around there. And hopefully, coming this season, all of that could be turned around. But the Dolphins need to take care of business. When I say take care of business, the Dolphins need to be serious about signing their superstar players. You cannot go every season whereby you had an opportunity to sign Tua last season for probably a lesser contract, and you wait until this season when he has his last year, and now Tua rejects an offer that the Dolphins made. All right? The Dolphins need to take care of their players. And I'm not going too much into Tua and his situation, but the Dolphins not signing him already or giving him a long-term contract and giving him a contract that's Patrick Mahomes like, because he outplayed Patrick Mahomes, he outplayed Josh Allen, he outplayed a whole lot of just about every quarterback in the NFL last season with QBR ratings and with the yards that he threw for over 4,600 yards, Dan Marino-esque, against all those teams in the NFL last season. And here we are, the Dolphins still has not signed him or give him a decent contract that could cause the Miami Dolphins to be on the way to hopefully into the Super Bowl. This is the best opportunity the Miami Dolphins have right now. The best opportunity the Miami Dolphins have right now with this quarterback. We can't just let this quarterback just go to waste. Ryan Tannehill, I thought, was a good opportunity, but Ryan Tannehill was not good. He has snapped, crackled. All right, now he's out there, a free agent. Probably is about to get a contract flipping burgers if no one picks him up during this off season. But let's see what happens in the next couple of days. And I believe, for some reason, Ryan Tannehill might be a very, very good backup quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. I really believe so. I believe he could be a very good backup quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. And because he has the arm, and not only that, you have Tyreek Hill, you have Jalen Waddle, you have Odell Beckham, you have the new tight end that they brought in, who is really, really good. So guess what? Miami Dolphins, they have the weapons. They have the weapons to do some damage this season. And no one could stop that offense once that offense is played right, once it's schemed right, once they use the play action, because guess what? You have a very strong running back room. Achan, Mustard, you have Wilson. You also have some other running backs there who didn't get much playing time. But guess what? Those running backs the Miami Dolphins have right now, if one of them was to get cut right now, they could play for another team, probably start for another team. That's how good the running back room is right now for the Miami Dolphins. So hopefully, if we could get some play action going and getting that ball downfield, and guess what? The Miami Dolphins would be right there. Who could stop the Miami Dolphins? Because you wouldn't be able to stop the run, and you wouldn't be able to stop the pass. And it's going to be very, very dangerous for any team to stop the Miami Dolphins. I'm not only talking about offense now, because teams in the league, the way the league is designed right now, quarterbacks throwing for a whole lot of yards, and the defense cannot keep their hands on the player too long, more than 5 yards on the field. A lot of things changed in the league over the last 10, 20 years. So guess what? Other teams will score. But the thing is, you need a good defense. And the Miami Dolphins let go a big defensive tackle like Christian Wilkins. How could you let go Christian Wilkins? How could you let go Christian Wilkins? And he signed for that team. And he played so well last season. The season before, he played pretty good. He was consistent as he developed as a Miami Dolphins. I think he came for a Clemson. As he developed as a Miami Dolphin, from year to year, he played better and better as a Miami Dolphins. And the Dolphins decided to let him go, or didn't want to pay him the type of money that he wants, or that he needed. You have to pay these players. When you have an opportunity to pay a player, pay them. Because last season, the Miami Dolphins had an opportunity also to sign Wilkins to a good deal, a respectable deal. But they didn't. And then all of a sudden he went and he had a career season with sacks and tackles and what have you. And here, what happens? The market was out there. The Dolphins couldn't afford him. The Dolphins decided to let him go. And now they're going to have other talent that comes in who is going to have to get that same chemistry going with these other players on the defensive line in order for your team to be successful. You have to sign the players and sign the players on time. Right now, this situation with Tua not being signed right now, this is a bunch of garbage. This is hogwash. And when did the Dolphins learn their lesson? All right? And then Robert Hunt, the guard, very, very good player, was consistent for the last couple of seasons with the Miami Dolphins. His last season was a season where he was injured and he missed a few games. But in seasons past, this offensive player plays some pretty good position in the guard position. I don't know if you can recall him even catching a ball he was not an eligible receiver, but he caught the ball. He has good hands too, but he has to report ineligible before he could go out and catch a ball. And he didn't know that, I guess, the ball was too close and it looked too good. And he ran the end zone and even stretched his arms out over his head to catch so a touchdown could be called. But the touchdown was called back because he was not an eligible receiver. He didn't report as an eligible receiver. But he's a talented, very talented player. So the Dolphins need to sign their players. And then getting a lot of players from other teams. A lot of players probably teams don't want or probably they cannot sign. But come on, a player at the caliber of Robert Hunt and a player the caliber of Christian Wilkins, you don't let those guys go. You keep your players. And that's the reason why you try to sign your players at a very, very early stage. Do not wait until they're in their last year of their contract and then you try to sign them, especially after they would have had a career year, and now other teams are looking at them and to see the talent that they have, and now they're going to take your players and offer them huge contracts, and you cannot offer them the same thing because you're trying to save money, you're trying to stay under salary cap or what have you, and you're trying to see if you could probably bring in other players because you have to let them go because you don't have the money to sign them. Even though I believe they have the money now, just that they just will sign them for that type of money. But the Dolphins need to sign their players and sign their players now that we have now the tour and that debacle, that's taken forever. And I don't know why the Dolphins take so long to have that done. But we're still talking about the schedule. The Dolphins schedule away games. We have Seattle on the 22nd of September. We have New England on the 6th of October. We have Indianapolis Colts on the 20th of October. The Buffalo Bills on the 3rd of November. That isn't too bad for the Buffalo Bills. I don't think there will be any snow in Buffalo. So I must give the league some credit for that. After they messed up on the first game, giving the Buffalo Bills an evening game instead of giving them a game in the hot sun, they decided to give them an evening game so it can make it easier for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. But hopefully, the Miami Dolphins spoil their party when they come down to Miami to play. Now they're playing Buffalo on the 3rd of November. And, even though it's going to be a little chilly, it's not going to be cold. It's not going to be cold because winter doesn't start until the 21st of December. We have the Los Angeles Rams on the 11th of November. The Green Bay Packers on the 28th of November. Then have the Houston Texans on the 15th of December. The Cleveland Browns on the 29th of December. And then they finish with the New York Jets. So they're going to have a really, really cold game with the New York Jets on the 4th of January 2025. So the challenge with this schedule that I have, especially the last 3 out of 4 games, the Miami Dolphins will be playing on the road. Last 3 out of 4 games, they will be playing on the road. That isn't too good. And for some reason, the Miami Dolphins are always caught in this trap during the end of the season where they have a bunch of games on the road sometimes. But if our offense is staying at a very and if they could go probably 500 or win two of the 3 games on the road, Miami Dolphins has a very good chance in going back to the playoffs. And hopefully, let's ride on to the Super Bowl, my brothers and sisters. Let's ride on the Super Bowl, my Dolphin fans. Let's ride on the Super Bowl. Let's win those games late and let's make some noise in the Super Bowl. Hopefully, we'll be there in the Super Bowl. But the Dolphins, they have a very, very talented schedule, and hopefully the Dolphins, as I mentioned earlier, put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. Do what they have to do to win these games coming down the stretch. Because guess what? In the NFL, it stands for not for long when you play garbage. Play like garbage and don't represent. You go in there, be focused, do what you have to do. Tour, getting the ball in a timely fashion. The players, the receivers getting into their break when they should get into their break. When they need to go on the fly, they go on the fly. When the running backs need to run in a hole that they need to run in, if the hole is clogged up, improvise and see if you can find another opening and run with authority and be committed to playing football the way football should be played. But with that said, the Miami Dolphins, I believe the Dolphins will have a very good season. And hopefully next year, the Dolphins, we can be talking about us bringing back home the Vince Lombardi Trophy. The Vince Lombardi Trophy in February 2025. And we going as Super Bowl champion. We have to dethrone those Kansas City Chiefs. We have to dethrone those Kansas City Chiefs. Right now, the Buffalo Bills don't look too good. Stephon Diggs was traded from the Buffalo Bills or was released. And then you have Jordan Poyer, who left the Buffalo Bills and came to the Miami Dolphins. So a good part of that team is missing, and I don't know who Josh Allen is going to be throwing to. And as you know, Josh Allen is pretty reckless, and he can throw a lot of. He is always there to throw a lot of interceptions because he thinks he can complete any pass on the field because he has a strong arm. But just remember, we have plenty good cornerbacks. We have plenty good defensive backs are there who could intercept balls and bring them back all the way and take it to the house. And those players, some of those are on the Miami Dolphins. So we just have to play Josh Allen and play him the way the Miami Dolphins with victories against the Buffalo Bills. And before I go on to my two Bahamian athletes that I want to talk about, just remember, Tua, the same player, the same quarterback the Miami Dolphins taken forever to sign. Is perfect against the Jets, and he's perfect against the New England Patriots. And the greatest coach of all time, who coached for the New England Patriots, who won 7 Super Bowls. Tua has beaten him every single time, I think 6 or 7 times. Every time Tua played the New England Patriots, he was able to beat that coach and his team. And I think Brady might have been playing around the same time Tua started playing also. All right? So we have to give him that respect. Give him that respect. Because the Dolphins always play New England Patriots really, really good. And I believe if they continue to do what they do, the Dolphins will end up probably beating or sweeping the Patriots this season. But we just need to be focused with the Patriots, be focused with the Jets, be focused especially with those Buffalo Bills, who we have a very challenging time beating. So we just need to stay in there and do what we have to do, and then we should be all right for this upcoming season. So we just need to stay there, do what we need to do, and do our thing, and we should win. And the coach I was trying to remember, it was Bill Belichick, the Dolphin, who just retired from the Patriots, who Tua has a perfect record against. Imagine having a perfect record against Bill Belichick or Bill Belichick, not Bill Belichick, because a lot of things happen with Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, Deflategate and Spygate and all the other gates that happened with the New England Patriots. But let's get back. Let's talk track and field in the Bahamas. Track and field in the Bahamas. Shaunae Miller, born the 15th of April 1994, a specialist in the 200, the 400 meters, and two-time Olympic champion. She won the 400 meters in 2016, which is about 8 years ago. 2016, about 8 years ago, and then she won the 400 meters in Tokyo in 2020 Olympics, and she is back on the scene after having a child. She started slowly. She didn't win right away after going back to competition, after giving birth to a child. But guess what? Now she is back to how winning is. She's back after race after race. Now she's getting ready. The Olympics is this year. And hopefully she can bring back to the Bahamas a third gold medal in the 400 meters. And hopefully the 200 meters also, because she runs the 200 and the 400 meters. So we're looking forward to some big things from Shaunae Miller-Weibo in this upcoming Olympics during the summer. I think it's July, August this year. And we're looking, hopefully, that she could bring home another gold. And not only her, other Bahamian athletes like Stephen Gardner, Devynne Charlton, and a few others. Because we have a group of track and field stars out there from the Bahamas who are going to be doing their best for the Bahamas in the upcoming Olympics. And I must say, I don't know if you remember, but I remember quite clearly the dive for gold by Shaunae Miller in the 2016 Olympics. I don't know if you remember, but I remember that quite clearly. She did whatever she had to do to bring that gold home. She did whatever she had to do to bring that gold home. And she did it, and she fought, and she got across the finish line, winning the race, and bringing the gold home for a country that she loves so much called the Bahamas. And then we have Devynne Charlton. Devynne Charlton. She is a specialist when it comes to the hurdles. She's special when it comes to the hurdles, and she has been doing a pretty good job for the Bahamas. Right here in 2024, she set an indoor record in 2024 in the hurdles. All right, she is pretty good, and she is very talented. She has speed, and guess what? Look at no one right now could beat her in the hurdles worldwide. So she is on top of her game. Hopefully, she continues to be on top of her game, and hopefully in the Olympics she could bring back her first medal, whether it's gold, silver, or bronze. And hopefully, it's a gold medal in the hurdles coming up in the next Olympics in the next couple of months. But my biggest concern about the Bahamas, we had a team of girls they call the Golden Girls, led by Pauline Davis and the other athletes sprinters who ran on that team. And Pauline Davis was able to bring those girls together, and they won the gold medal some years ago, over 20 years ago. All right? And the Bahamas, we have all athletes right here. Why can't we team or a relay team together, the relay, and see if we could keep them going, and hopefully they could run in the Olympics? I don't know if it's too late, but why can't a relay team of ladies and young men from the Bahamas to run the relays? We have enough ladies sprinters out there to put a team together. Right here we have Devynne Charlton, and we have Shaunae Miller-Weibo, and we have some other young girls. Just the other day, a young girl out of Freeport ran in the mixed relays in Nassau. That's a very talented young lady. But I'm saying we have other girls who are in college, who is doing track and field, who is running for the Bahamas. Why can't these girls put a team together and we have a relay team for the Bahamas? What is going on with the beach relays? What is going on with all Bahamian athletes? Why can't they come together and put a team together? The last one that was put together was because of the efforts of Pauline Davis and the other girls who decided to come together and practice together, go from state to state practicing and compete in competition before they were able to be on top of the game and winning the gold medal for the Bahamas. What are we doing in the Bahamas? What is track and field? What is the beach relays doing in the Bahamas concerning these athletes? What are they doing in the Bahamas? Something needs to be done, because we have too many good athletes out there who are not coming together to be as one, to practice together, because they had last 4 years, and we have had female athletes going to college, doing track and field. We need to find the talent of those girls to see how they run and what are their specialties, bring them together, look at their times, and have them running track and field, the relays in track and field for the Bahamas. Come on, we could do better than this as a country. We have the athletes. Jamaica could put their athletes together. The US put their athletes together. Canada put their athletes together. Other countries put their athletes together to run in the relays. And Miami, who hosted a relay competition just the other day, cannot find 5 or 6 girls or young women to run for the Bahamas in the relays. What are we doing? This needs to be corrected, and this needs to be corrected quickly, quick, fast, and hurry. I don't know if it's possible before the next Olympics, but something needs to be done. You had Pauline Davis, Chandra Sturb, Debbie Ferguson, all those, they came together. Salahita Fines and all of them, they came together, and they were able to practice together. They worked together. They might have had their challenges together. They might have had their differences together. But at the end of the day, all of them came together and said, we are one. We are one Bahamas. We are one Bahamian track and field group or relay team. And they did our best. They did their best to win the gold medal for the Bahamas. They get this done. I hope this message gets out there. And persons would watch and take this a little, because if it doesn't happen this Olympics, then hopefully by the next Olympics, by that time, Shaunae Miller-Weibo might be off the scene, because right now she's about 30 years old. Devynne Charlton, she is up there too. But we need a group of females, a group of young women to run and be successful in the Bahamas, because we could do far much better than we doing with relays. The last couple of Olympics, we had no relay teams from the Bahamas running track and field. Same thing with the men. We have men out there who could run, who is off to college doing track and field. Get them together, let them practice together. The reason why you practice together, so you can have that chemistry together, so that you can know each other's tendencies on what they do and what they don't do, and how they like it and how they don't like it. And once you would put that team together and they practice and practice, they always say practice make perfect, but practice make better and more better and better. And hopefully you would get perfection. But practice makes better. So we need to go there and encourage our athletes, encourage the B3As, encourage the Bahamas as a whole. Let's put a track and field team together with relays for the men and women. We have the facilities. We have a very good facility in Nassau. We have a very good facility in Freeport. We need some other facilities in our family islands. Currently, they're constructing a facility in Exuma, and hopefully they put a rubberized track down there so some of the athletes from Exuma could run and have their times in and be ready for Carifta. And hopefully, if they go past Carifta, end up going to college, and by the time they've finished college, they'll be competing in the next Olympics. But we need persons with a conviction, man, with a conviction to get things done. All right? Not until we get serious, not until we get focused, not until we bring all people together, bring the athletes together, bring the male and the female athletes together, so they could practice, so they can know each other's tendency to go there and be on top of their game for the Bahamas in the next Olympics. It might not happen this Olympics, but hopefully next Olympics. I will be talking about this from time to time, the male athletes, and see where they are and who we have out there. And covering or giving some time to each aspect of Bahamian sports, whether track and field, basketball, baseball, football, whatever. I'll be focusing on those things, and hopefully the Bahamas will get more serious with track and field, and hopefully we will have another gold medal in a relay competition, because we have the talent out there. We just need the athletes to come together and do what they need to do to cause the Bahamas to be the best little country in the world when it comes to track and field, because we can do it. And the reason why I know we can do it, because we have done it before. We have done it before. All right? The Golden Girls, it happened with them. All right? Then we had the Golden Boys who did something spectacular. All right? So we need to keep these teams together, because guess what? After athletes peak, then they start going down. All right? So catch them while they're going up. Catch them while they're going up, while they in high school, in college, and then after college, they go on the professional scene. And then they go there and they be the best that they can be, to practice, dedication, a conviction to the sport that they love doing. And hopefully these things will happen in the very near future when it comes to the Bahamas and Bahamian sports. With that said, I had a good run this evening, and we'll continue our shows tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be talking more about the Miami Dolphins and what is happening with the Miami Dolphins. And I will be featuring Bahamian athletes every single night when I talk. And if I miss a show, I will come back only because of work scheduling. I may miss a show, but other than that, I will be on between 8 and 9 o'clock on a daily basis, talking Miami Dolphins football, talking Miami Marlins, talking Miami Heat, talking even Florida Panthers, talking Bahamian sports from every aspect, every angle that you can imagine. So subscribe to my channel and give me a like, and let's continue going, because guess what? We are simply the best. The Dolphins simply the best. The Bahamas, number one, 242, 242. And when you say Miami, we're talking Super Bowl. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Yes, Miami Dolphins number one. I am out. See you tomorrow night on my next show. Be safe.